Okay, today I am driving the all-new 2017 Chevy Bolt with a 60 kilowatt hour battery pack. And I know there's a lot of people out there who already know everything about the different charging standards and all the different charging networks and all the different charging plug configurations. So what I wanted to do today, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know. So for those who do know, just you don't even need to watch this video. If you don't know much about electric cars, this video is for you. So what you have to need to know first of all is the charging networks, okay, and the charging standards. Basically, the ones you want to look out for as of today, right now, are ChargePoint and EVgo, okay. And basically there's three different charging standards right now, okay. There's a Tesla supercharger, which is only works on the Tesla model cars, okay. That specification goes up to 120 kilowatt, so that's a quick charger. The other one is called CHAdeMO. It's maximum of 62 kilowatt charging, and those are basically for the Gen 1 Nissan Leafs. And if you looked at my last video that I made, I did a demonstration how you could charge the car up in half an hour. And the other one is basically the one that's most common in vehicles is the J1772 Level 1 and J1772 Level 2. Okay, now with Level 2, you have to know basically there's two different modes. The first mode is 3.3 kilowatt, which is basically the Gen 1 Chevy Bolt, and there's probably a couple other ones out there, the plug-in range extended electric cars that probably only accept 3.3 kilowatt. But if all the other cars, most of them on the market, will support Level 2 6.6 kilowatt. So just for your, just so you know, okay, so if you have 6.6 kilowatt charger Level 2, you're going to get anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5 miles per kilowatt of energy used. So that means if you charge at 6 kilowatt, we'll say 6.5 kilowatt or 6.6, you times that by 4 because you get 4 miles per kilowatt. That means for every hour you plug in, you're going to get about 25 miles of range. Okay, so I'm going to show you on my phone real quick. Well, why don't I do this? Well, let's go through the controls on the 2017 Chevy Bolt. Okay, so this car, specs on it are 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. It's fully electric, 200 horsepower electric motor. So let's go to our home screen and go to the energy button, which will give you hold on a second. Okay, we want to do flow. That's where exactly your all of your energy is going. It'll show your regenerative braking, how charged the battery pack is. Okay, we'll go back to flow. Charging. This is going to tell you, okay, limit charging to 8 amps. You can do that, or if you want to do let's say off hours charging. Let's say if you want to get good rates, basically from if you get home at like 8 at night and you want to plug it in, you can set that here. Basically, that will give you like the cheaper rates, basically, because those are off hours. So what we're going to do, let's go back to information, and that's going to tell me all the energy I've used since the last drive, since the battery was last plugged in. And it's showing here driving accessories, climate settings, battery control, and we'll go scroll through these different screens. And there's efficiency average right here. See 8 miles per kilowatt hour, which is really good, surprisingly. But you can see here, I don't know, this is as high as it goes. I've never seen anybody get 8 miles, but you can see what I was talking about here. This is generally over the range. You see it goes here's 5 miles per kilowatt. But generally it's 4 miles per kilowatt. It's basically what you're going to get in any electric car. I've driven them, all of them, even the Tesla. The Tesla Model X has even that car, it's like 5,000 pounds. I was surprised to see a guy who owned that was actually getting 3.5 miles per kilowatt, which is very impressive for a car that weighs like 5,000 pounds. So let's go to the last screen here. Just scores you on your technique and terrain, efficiency history, and that's pretty much it for that. We'll go back to the home screen, and we're going to go into settings now. And this is really what I like about this car. You go to settings, and we can do. This is my favorite thing. Okay, so what you can do is you can have a particular group of parameters that you can set for, let's say, your son who likes to drink a little too much. I think we all know about that. And what you can do is manage settings. So you can okay, so hold on. Key registration. So you get a key, and what you do is you register that key. And here it says, please place a remote transmitter you want to add or remove in the registration pocket from your owner's manual for pocket location details. Well, see, don't have the remote yet, but I'm just showing what you can do. So here's the settings right here. Okay, so we can say, okay, I don't want my son to be blasting his music at all. I don't know if it's going to let me do that. Oh, let's do that. Okay, so basically we can limit it to 30. Volume. You can configure that. That's really cool. And then, God, this is slow. And then this is what I like the most right here. Let's give it a moment to respond. Okay, so we can go on, and we could limit that to 85 miles per hour, and I think you can configure that to the screen is funny. Let's see if we can. There's a way to configure that to only let your kid drive the car a certain speed. And one thing I wish it had was, here's a report card. You can see basically everything your kid has been doing: distant driven, overspeed warnings, ABS, and then you can basically just scroll up, collisions, avoidance, braking. You can see give it a little bit of report card about how your kid is driving. But what I really wanted was, I was hoping that they would actually integrate a breathalyzer into this system. So, and you can basically assign it to that key that you gave your kid. And basically what it'll do is the car won't even start if he doesn't pass the breathalyzer test. Now that would be the coolest thing in the world, and especially government law enforcement would love that if you could do that. But apparently I don't know if they have any desire to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start showing you the different configurations of charging on this car. Okay, so turn this off. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is an EVgo station. It's not marked anywhere, but put in by Ethicheck. It's a Portuguese company. And I'm going to show you, as you saw in my last video, I did explain how you could use CHAdeMO to quick charge your Nissan Leaf. This is a CHAdeMO connector, okay? This will handle up to 62 kilowatt hour of charging per hour. So you can basically charge your Leaf, your Gen 1 Leaf, in basically 30 minutes. And I did that demonstration in one of my other videos. So that's what you have to do here. But this is a separate network. This is just the EVgo network. Now over here, EVgo's got you covered both ways. They got for quick charging, they got your DC combo. Okay, so this is what's called CCS SAE DC combo. I think the specification, you can do a maximum charging, I think, of like 50 to 60 kilowatt. And I'll explain why that's good enough. I don't think I guess they're working on a 350 kilowatt standard right now, and that doesn't make any sense. This is good enough, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so let me show you the pinouts of the Bolt EV. Okay, you'll notice that if you look here, this is your standard J1771 level 1 and 2 connector. Okay, so I'm going to show you what a level 2 connector looks like. Okay, this is J1772 level 1, or level 2, I'm sorry, because this is a bigger battery pack, and this is probably going to give me 25 miles per range an hour if I plug it in. Okay, green light goes on, the car starts charging, and the ones here are free to use. It's probably subsidized somehow, maybe a tax write-off, I'm not sure. So that's going to charge, basically give me 25 miles per hour of charging. And if you're interested to know any of the other specifications on this car, this is kind of interesting. Canadian parts, US is 26%, sources part Korea is 50%, so it's kind of a mixture of, the car is assembled in Lake Orion, Michigan, and this is kind of this has got all the options and stuff, so you're going to pay a little bit more for this model if you buy it from the dealer. There's all the different specs on it if you want to take a look at that. And I'll show you the Type 1, if I can figure out how to get this open. Not there. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. So this is your basic 120 15 amp electric charger. The electric car charger is nothing special about it. It pulls 12 amp and it's 120 volt. You can plug it into any outlet. Just don't have more than one thing on the outlet, because if you have a bunch of stuff on that existing outlet that's plugged in, not necessarily using energy, it will not actually let you charge, as I've painfully found out in my attached condo garage. They have, what it does is, I believe, it probes the circuit, and if it detects too many devices or appliances on that circuit, it won't basically go on. It's a safety feature. So this is, if you look at the pinouts, these are exactly the same pinouts as the level 2 chargers. Okay, so let me just show you something real quick. Alright, notice there's a little orange flap here, okay? So what they did is they made DC combo charging completely compatible with level 2 and level 1 J1772s. You pull on this flap, and over here you've got your DC combo quick charger that plugs in right here. Goes in just like that. It's very heavy. Okay, so normally I don't have an EVgo card yet. I'm still waiting for it to come in the mail. So normally if I had the EVgo card, I would swipe here and the car would start charging. I can't do that today, unfortunately, because my card hasn't come in, but I just wanted to show you that. This is an EVgo charging station, so I hope that I'll go into the different charging stations. Right now I have to get this car charged up a little bit before I go on my trip. Okay, so before you purchase an electric car, you want to know about these 3 applications. Most of you do, I think, by this point. There's an application here called PlugShare. It's right there. Now, PlugShare is basically a community-developed, EV driver-developed charging stations. So if you find a charging station somewhere that it's not located on any of the other apps, you can actually put it in here. So it's like a group effort. Everybody that drives EVs can contribute. If you want to use, somebody wants to let their let people use their garage chargers, you can put them in here too. So all these here, where I'm at right now, as you scroll out, and here's, if we click on it, you can tell which one it is. Palatine. This is, whoops, there it is right there. There's chain mode and CCS SA DC combo. So that means that's the EV Go charger that I was just showing you. And the other one is just an EV plug, and that means usually level 1 and level 2. If you click on it, it'll give you more information on it. And there it is. So 2-level charging, 2 stations, what I'm using right there. And those are those right there, the AeroVironment ones. And the other ones are EV Go here too. So it tells you what they are. Parking is free. And then it says Nissan no charge to charge. That's a new program Nissan has. If you buy a new Leaf, I guess EV Go is a partnership with Nissan, and you can actually, when you buy the car, I guess you get 3 years of full quick charge on it. As from what I understand, they have quick chargers all along the west and east coast. They're completely covered. I don't have any evidence to back that up, but I'm pretty sure you'd be okay if you were on California, for sure. In California, definitely out that west, but like in the Midwest, there's little gaps in there, but I'm sure they'll be filled in really quick. So let's go back here, and you can see, you can also filter out which ones you're looking for in this app. Just click here. Oops. So doesn't let you, there's got to be a way to filter. I think there's settings. It doesn't let you filter out. Oh, there we go. Public stations in use. It tells you which ones are in use. Here's networks. This is how you can filter it out. Let's say if you want to only use charge point networks, let's turn all these other ones off. I'm going to do that now because the only card I have an account with is charge point. Okay, so we'll go back. And now it should be probably a lot less. So what we're going to do now is go to an EV Go quick charger, because I don't have a charge point quick charger, because I don't have the EV Go card yet. I'm not a member of their club yet officially. So let's go and we'll back out of that. So that's one app you want to have for sure. That's called PlugShare. It's free to download. Another one is called ChargePoint. And what's neat about ChargePoint is that you can actually remotely activate the charging stations. So if I go, let's find out where I am at right here. And we'll find one here. Yeah, it's probably because my signal's not really that good right now. It's definitely a lot more than this. Hold on. Okay, I had some filter settings I had to adjust. So these are just all of the level 2 and CCS SAE DC combo chargers that are there. There's probably only 1 or 2 DC charging combos in Illinois, Chicago area. I know there's one in Schaumburg, BMW. That's where I'm going right now to do a real world quick charge test of the new 2017 EV Bolt. So what's kind of cool about this is if you click on one of these things, you notice how there's like a blue there, and that means like half of the chargers. It means one person is already plugged in. So if you see the whole thing, the whole circle being blue means there's no space for you. So let's find out where there's one here in Libertyville. Oops, touch on it. There we go. And what it lets you do there we go. So it's Walgreens in Lincolnshire, level 2. Sorry if I'm moving this camera around really funny. So you can actually start the charger from right here. You don't even have to have a card with ChargePoint. So this is the ChargePoint app, and it tells you the station info, hours, price set by Janus Holding. There's a parking fee you have to pay. Gives you the prices and whatnot. So you basically drive up to it. You either swipe your card, it's a little RFID card, or you open your app and you type the start charge. And basically what that'll do is you plug in your car, and then you'll hear the machine click, and you'll be able to unlock the handle from the station, and then you can plug it in and it'll charge. So that's kind of neat. That's some of the other cool features of that the other networks don't have. And the other one, currently right now there is no EVgo app as far as I know. So the two ones you want to have for sure are PlugShare and ChargePoint. And since I showed you the different types of standards, I think that should be clear on what to look for before you commit to buying the electric car. Well, there were some other settings in here I wanted to briefly go over too. So you hit this button here at the top, and then if you go into settings, so I just covered basically the teen driver settings. You can go into here and play with. This is basically will tell you everything that you need to know about your car. If you click on climate control and quality, it tells you where it is. Or gives you the configuration to turn the heated seats off, auto defog on, and let's see. Let's go to, how about power lighting? That's kind of an annoyance. So, vehicle locator lights on, exit lighting off. Let's say if you're exiting, you want to turn that on. That's kind of helpful. Let's just do it for 30 seconds. Set that. I think we can do it more than that. For older people, they need more time. For me, I just need 30 seconds. So let's go back, see what other options there are. Let's go to power door locks. Unlock door and anti-lockout off. Auto door unlock, all doors. That's what you want. Those settings you probably don't want to play with. Let's go back to devices, and you got the iPhone 4 somebody had. That's just for Bluetooth and whatnot. You want to connect to Bluetooth. Most vehicles have that. It should be pretty straightforward. Remote access. That's kind of cool. Apple CarPlay on. That's for Apple phones. Wi-Fi. You can actually connect this car up to any Wi-Fi network. So let's go here. Oh, probably here. There we go. Screen's a little touchy. So you can connect it to any one of these. You can connect it to Comcast if you want. So that's kind of a neat. I think this whole system is running on probably Debian Linux. You know, a variant of Debian Linux, probably embedded. I know the Teslas are. Yeah, so return to default settings, now display settings. Here is where you can actually change the layout of how your car looks on this home screen. So I said I don't want a blue sky. I want a black eclipse. See what that looks like. Oh, that's kind of interesting. And back here. think it also lets you somewhere. There's somewhere where you can actually customize how you want the home screen to look. I don't know where it's at. Go back here. Here's all the nerdy information here. Your software update, you can actually do over the Wi-Fi connection. The car looks like it comes with the 4G LTE connection. Here's the latest software, so you know, computer geeks are all familiar with this stuff. Open source. They use a lot of GPL code in this car, and it's basically free software. People familiar with Linux and Unix type operating systems, or you know what that's about. There is AVN, LGE, open source software notice. And then I said GPL, see that? Looks like some libraries they pulled that were general public licensed. There's a whole bunch of them. Here's some Apache libraries they used. Boost software, NetBSD, look at all this. MIT license, BSD-like license, OpenSSL license. Yeah, this is all stuff that they took, you know, that was released in the public domain pretty much most of the time. Kind of interesting, but thought I'd show you that. Let's go back and see where that display settings were to get that. There's a way to customize this home screen, and I just don't know where it is. You can actually go and you can basically, oh, edit here. There we go. Edit. My bad. Okay, so you can do custom layout. This is what I was talking about. So you can have this standard layout, eco layout, family layout, custom layout. So what you can do here is, let's say if I wanted to add, I want the energy details right there. Okay, and then here I want to put charging settings. Okay, or here I'll put, let's see, what can I put? Phone. Here I want to put charging mode. Okay, hit OK, and then you can see my home custom screen. My custom screen is right here. I just changed it out, so it's kind of limited, but it's really not that bad. So I'm just gonna put it back to where it was, the standard layout. Here's your eco layout, family layout. Put it on eco layout. There we go. Okay, so I pretty much went through all the software settings. I covered you there. Here's the radio. Let's do FM. You can see when I push on the accelerator, see the flow going from the battery to the motor, and then when I let off of it, look what happens. It goes from the motor to the battery. I don't know if you can see that through, but there's some trivia I thought I'd throw in there. So.
In 0.2 miles, turn right on West.
Okay, you can see I've had this car charging at a DC combo quick charger for about an hour now. We started at 90 miles and now we have 165 miles, so we've gotten about 75 miles of range per hour. Now keep in mind that this is actually giving us an output of the lower end of what DC combo can do. This is rated at 24 kilowatt charging station. When it first started, it was only charging at I think 21. So is the only one I had access to right now, but there's another one, the EV Go station I showed you before, will actually charge double this. So basically we would have been charged completely in 1 hour if I would have used the 44 kilowatt DC combo charger from EV Go. So I could do that demonstration another time, but I just wanted to show people that, you know, these are pretty much viable, and they do. Okay, so it shows 100% here. We're 100% charged. The station is showing that the battery is 100% charged, and the time is now 6:58. So it's roughly about 2 hours and 10 minutes to charge. But also keep in mind, if you look here on the right side, it shows 11 kilowatt. So for most of the charge, it was only giving me an output of like maybe 17 to 21 kilowatt, and this station I think is rated at 24. So if you went to another charging quick charger station, this is the lower end of the quick charger stations. If you went to like one of the EV Go quick charging stations, it would have given you double that output, more like 44 kilowatt, and you would have had a charge in probably an hour, because this took 2 hours, because it's, you know, 21 half of 24 half of, you know, 21 half of 40, you know, 42 44, somewhere around there. And I think the car's electrical or computer system controls the amount of current that goes into the battery and regulates the coolant and everything like that. So it was also hot today, so that may have contributed to a little bit of that. So yeah, 2 hours, and it's fully charged, and I'm ready to get going here. Do a little range test for it. Here we go. Okay, so we're ready to take off here now. I figured out how to reset the trip monitor. So distance is 0, and average so far is 3.9 mile per kilowatt hour. And it looks like we got 242 miles full range. And so I'm gonna start. Here, I'm going. And another thing that's kind of cool about this car, I don't know if you can see or not, but it's got this really neat blue lining light that kind of goes around the dash panels here. It looks kind of like Trekkie-ish. My camera's putting a light on it, so you really can't see it, but
take ramp on right to East Palatine Road.
yeah. Ideal speed you want to drive for any electric car is not over 65 when you're on the freeway. I'm pretty much most of this trip. Right, I finally found out where my light setting was on my camera here, and you can now see clearly that little blue lining that goes across the dashboard. Looks really cool. And I'm headed towards the Great Lakes Naval Station. So far I've driven 33.8 miles. Still got 218 miles on my pack. So I'm getting, looks like I'm going to get about 250 miles range on this car, going anywhere from 45 to 70 miles an hour. Now you can see here I'm headed back on 294, back to Palatine, and I'm going average about 65, 70 miles an hour.
75.
Okay, we're at the end of our trip today. You can see that I've driven 62.5 miles. I started out with full charge, and I still got 198 miles remaining. And my average, I was averaging 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, and going about 50 to 70 miles an hour on 294. And let's go. You can see our average over here. And you can see I'm easily getting 4.5 to sometimes 5 miles per kilowatt hour. So it does. It gives you the range that it claims, and I like to thank Palatine, Grossinger Chevy, and Sean for letting me take it out for a spin today. I hope this helps. Bye.